Hello, Stewart here from Drone Film Guide, the channel where we learn to fly like filmmakers. How good were those clips? When we sent out an email to members of our Drone Film Guide club to see if you wanted to participate in this video, a lot of you got back and you sent us footage with an email saying something like, hey, I'm just starting out, see what you make of it. If the footage is no good, doesn't matter. And the footage that you sent us was amazing. Honestly, some of you have done incredible things, going out and tracking down some stunning locations and producing some amazing aerial footage. So I hope this video inspires you that it's not about your drone, it's not even so much about your level of expertise, it's just about a mindset. And hopefully this channel's got you a little bit further down that road already. And in this video, we're going to show you a few post-production tweaks and mainly colors to get your footage looking like it didn't just come straight off a drone, that it's been attended to and that it belongs in a Hollywood movie. In all of these clips, we like to add the 2:35:1 aspect ratio for a more cinematic look. It also gives us flexibility to move the picture in post-production, just reposition it a little bit according to the rule of thirds. Now, as for colours here, the first step in the process is to add a little bit of contrast. Using the vector scope there, we're just going to add some contrast. We're going to lose a bit of detail in the sky there, but it doesn't matter too much in this image. Now, I want to take those greens and just make them a little bit less green. So I've used the hue versus hue curve there, selected those greens and just added in a little bit of orange, and you can see the before and after. It's a much warmer tone. I'm going to top that up by adding some pop here with a colour curve adjustment. It leaves the shadows and the highlights endpoints in the same place, but adds a little bit of pop by stretching out some more contrast. Let's finish this one off. Add a vignette, adds a little bit of center focus, just brings a bit of contrast around the edge of the frame. And there we're pretty much done. Let's look at the before and after. Quite a difference. Just for the avoidance of doubt, I'm absolutely flying through these. We have lots of information on the site already in terms of color correction and color grading, and also how to use LUTs, which we'll touch on in this next clip, so you can check out the links to those videos up there. In this extraordinary shot, I want to preserve the detail in the clouds there, but get some contrast back into the landscape. So after adding the letterbox and repositioning, I'm adding a color mask to everything in the image apart from the sky. So the color adjustment that I now make will only hit the landscape and won't touch those clouds, because I don't want to blow out those highlights. So now that I raise those highlights and decrease those shadows, I'm adding contrast, but only into the land. You can see the before after there. Really cool adjustment there. Already things are looking a bit better. Now I'm going to make a color adjustment by adding a LUT, and in this case we're going to use the Drone Film Grade's Aaron LUT, and you can see straight away, look at that, a similar kind of effect to the previous clip. We just add a little bit of orange into things. Now we add our vignette. Again, we just add a bit of center focus. It just adds a bit more contrast around the sides, a bit more depth into the image, and the before and after is really quite striking. There's the before and there's the after. What a difference. That, to my mind, looks like it comes straight out of a film. We've got a completely different set of color considerations here, but let's start with the composition. We've added the letterbox and we're going to have to deal with that squinty horizon. So we do that in the rotation tab, and then we just zoom in a couple of percentage points and we're done there. Okay, let's color correct. Remember, you color correct first, color grade second. So we're dealing with the contrast here to give us a nice starting point for our grade. I think if we add in some saturation here, we'll get a bit more of a holiday vibe, a bit more of a music video vibe. With that in mind, I want a teal sky. We've got a strong orange element there, so let's use the hue versus hue curves to select the blues in the image and add a little bit of teal into those blues. Very popular color grade, teal and orange, and this clip is just perfect for it. We'll add a colour curve to wash out the shadows a little bit, just give us a slightly faded shadow, vintagey, shadowy kind of look. Just a little bit stylish, nothing too dramatic there. Add the vignette for some centre focus. We get a little bit of contrast around the edges there, a bit more depth in the image, and we're done. So look at that before and after. What a quality clip that is. Just as an aside, I've been so busy going on in these videos about our 8-hour drone cinematography masterclass that I forget to talk about our Drone Film Guide club. That's pretty much what started off this channel after all. There's a link in the description below where you can join our club. We'll send you some exclusive content, notifications when there's new YouTube videos. Whenever we have paid for products, the club members get an extra discount. So the likes of the masterclass that I've mentioned, obviously, our drone film grades LUT pack. So check out that link below, join the club and stick with us on that one as well. How's this for a stunning location? I'm doing some keyframing here for the positioning because I want to keep that cross in the frame. So essentially by setting an in point and an out point for position, the clip will move automatically between that in and out point. We cover that in the editing workshop in our drone cinematography masterclass. I don't have time to get into it here, but at least that inspires you to look into that concept if you're not familiar with it. So we add some contrast back here. Again, this is a very colourless image. It's basically two colours in the shot, but we've added our Glencoe LUT there, and we see that we pick out some of the blues in the sky and we've turned them teal with our Glencoe LUT. So we've used a LUT this time to do that rather than do it manually like we did in the previous clip. Adding some more saturation there helped pull out those colours a bit. We add another LUT, our shadow fade, and this time we're able to wash out those shadows using a LUT, and it gives it that really stylish kind of cinematic look, very popular. I like that a lot. And then we throw on the vignette again just to add a bit more depth into the image. But what's really cool about this clip is it's virtually a black and white clip. There's two colours in there, black and white, but we've been able to extract some of that hazy blue in the sky. We've turned it tealish, and what an outcome, what a clip, and what a location. You can see here that it's not about having the latest and greatest drone, it's about having the patience to wait for that train to go past, or having the presence of mind to wait for the sun to come down a bit because it creates those long shadows and those nice vivid colours. You can learn all of that stuff, and then by the time you combine it with some nice colour grading and a few post-production tweaks, you create some stunning footage that looks like it belongs in a Hollywood film. I'm sure we'll be doing more of these videos in future, so please do join the Drone Film Guide Club and you can send us your work there. I'm sorry that we weren't able to cover all of the clips that you sent us through, although we did write to you all individually to thank you for participating and engaging with us in that respect. Anyway, until next time, happy flying.